What it is though. Kids got game here. But you guys can call me KGG. And guys, it's another Artist of the Month interview. Today we have one of my homies, isACH. He's from Georgetown, Kentucky. He's a local artist here in Kentucky. He's a super good gamer from what I understand when I've been playing with him. But yeah, go ahead and introduce yourself, man.
Well, my name is isACH with a $sign, SACH, for Georgetown, Kentucky. You know, I just be making music here and there. I've been making music since I was I've been, reading music, playing instruments and shit since I was in middle school, like 7th grade. And I played until I got out of school, and then after that, I don't know, I stuck with singing and shit. And then I started writing, and I got here.
What instrument did you play back in 7th grade?
I was in singers, but I played trombone too, and obviously I feel like singers did a lot for me, but I always credit band to my personal stuff, just because I wouldn't have learned music if it wasn't for that,
Yeah.
But I played trombone and messed around with some other things, but couldn't really, that was my main instrument, I guess.
Gotcha. So, isACH, who is your favorite artist right now or of all time?
Well, my favorite artist, I'll give you a top 3 in no particular order. My favorite right now is Don Toliver. And it's been that way for about a year or two, I guess, since before his first little mixtape he dropped. He's just who I've really been paying a lot of attention to lately. His sound hits different with me. I mean, it's not even I think that he has some crazy ability. It's just his voice and his sound, something about it, I cling to it. Gotcha. But my two favorites of all time, I would definitely have to say Wayne. I hate it. I don't know. I don't hate that. That's not generic, I guess. Lil Wayne is definitely my favorite rapper of all time. I grew up listening to him.
Yeah.
And I can still listen to the same songs I used to back in the day and still be, mind blown.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't just an age thing.
Yeah, 6'7" is incredible. It's insane. So many bars in there.
Dude, yeah, all his shit is just... Yeah. And the thing with him is he really can, I don't know, I feel like Wayne is one of the realest rappers that it's true rap, bar for bar for nothing but punchlines. You know what I mean? That's just...
Yeah, he doesn't let you
breathe,
bro.
I always feel that's where I lack.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, and it's not like there are any bullshit punchlines, you know what I mean? It's always some fire.
Oh yeah. Yeah. He's smart, bro. Lil Wayne's super smart. What inspires you the most when making your music? Are you getting inspirations from anything, or explain that process?
Well, yeah, I mean, not, I feel I'm gonna say this a lot, not to sound corny, but I do like to watch what everybody in the area is doing, not even necessarily just in music, but even with the string and stuff, I like to stay interested with this stuff. It's not so much I'm looking for inspiration so I can do the same thing, but it's I like to see people create and do what they, what they're, I don't know, express themselves through what they're trying to do. Yeah, right. And then of course, on the musical aspect, my biggest influencers, probably would be Don Toliver, obviously, I just said. Young Thug is up there. This is something that not a lot of people, I don't think, would put on me or something when they would get, or not that they would guess, but I'm a big old Kevin Gates fan.
Yeah.
That's where I got a lot of the way I do my background dubs and shit from. I was inspired by him.
Oh, word.
Yeah, and then I'm trying to think anything else. Like I said, just the community, that shit. I like it. I like seeing people doing good, doing better. You know what I mean? It makes me competitive, and it's fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What's the most songs that you've made in a day? If you just cranked out a lot of songs, or how's it have you just gone? Go ahead.
Well, I haven't really, had I haven't been lucky enough to I guess I have been lucky in the way I've always been around buddies that have the equipment or always down to do it.
Yeah.
So I've always kind of had a time restraint, which sucks. You know, I've since day one kind of complained about that. I really need to get around to change it. But it's much more accessible now than it used to be for me.
Yeah.
Like back in the day, I really would like have a hard time like getting somewhere to make music and having it like someone who knew how to mix and all that. The most like songs I've made in a day, I want to say is like 3. But they were prepared, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was like completely finished, and that like honestly felt like a lot. I spent like hours at the studio.
Oh yeah, just trying to get it done. Now, you seem like a very versatile guy in music. I mean, you have a song with Lady May. So kind of explain to me what genres do you listen to and how you would rank those genres from favorite to least favorite. What influences your music?
Okay. I mean, like, obviously, I love hip-hop, I love rap, I love, like, soul and R&B, of all, I mean, like, you know, older shit, and, like, I don't know, anything from, like, Usher to, like, The Weeknd, you know what I mean? I like all that kinds of stuff. And, I mean, because, like, I have an older sister, she's 7 years older than me, and, like, growing up, I listened to what was popping when she was our age, and I loved it, so I just took it all in. And I mean, the only thing I don't like, honestly, would be like pop country, like this new country.
Yeah.
Because don't get me wrong, I do like some country, but I just think like a lot of new country is stereotypical, like more so in the way that people like, not like how people say rap is stereotypical, but like, I don't know, I would be willing to argue that new country is like super stereo, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get you.
Like, I always feel like, not trying to diss anybody who likes new country, you know what I'm saying? It's just like Tyler Shoulders, he's a country artist. Right, yeah, like he's a country artist. Right, it's like more radio-esque, and I'm not the biggest fan of that. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah.
But like Tyler Shoulders is up and coming right now, and he does like more of a traditional take of country, and I love it. Like I just went and saw him like a couple weeks ago at Rep Arena. It was amazing. And like, I don't know, I would say that country like that is definitely he's the one who did Lady May too, for anybody who doesn't know. That stuff ranks right under hip hop for me. Gotcha. Like it would be like, I kind of like link hip hop and pop together, I guess. I don't know if that's right, but I do. Like, you know,
definitely in this era, it makes sense.
I'd say like country, and I loved 80s, sorry, I loved 80s rock too. I just wanted to say that. I fucking like grew up on classic like 80s music too, like love that shit. I could play that all day long. Like,
yeah, that is good. How did now, speaking of another genre of music, this seemed like it was like completely out of your comfort zone or completely different from the type of style of music you make. How did SRT with 7 Feet come about, and why did you want to do it?
Sorry, I was taking a drink. That's I like that actually. So me and Seven have known each other for like years, and like never really crossed paths. Had a lot of mutual friends, and he's like 2 years younger than me, 3 years younger than me. I can't remember which class he graduated in, but I was 2016. And like I said, our paths never crossed. And then like 2 years ago, two and a half or something like that, I did my first show in a basement. Like just it was awesome. Like it was all rock bands and then me and Seven. And and we were rapping obviously, and we kind of just like built on each other from that point on. And at the time, like a lot of people don't know this, Seven was originally like a memer, like had like a very cult following for like this meme page that he had, and that's really like where he got a lot of his fan base from. I mean, because his music's great, so I mean it's really smart. Like he had like a super loyal fan base like through this meme page that was him, and it was called Graveyard Trash, now that I think about it. And long story short, I'm just making this run. I got this beat. I found this beat and I liked it, so I leased it or whatever. And then it was just so hard, and like I knew off rip that I was gonna be like screaming on it. And I'd never really sat down and heard a song and been like, oh, I want to scream on this one. But like I wrote the hook before I even considered Seven. And like when I was listening to it, obviously very, very quickly, I was in love with it, like, and the idea of him being on the song, because he had this song called Stop With The Devil Shit, and he was just screaming the whole thing. It's just like this real angry shit, and so like that was one of my more favorite songs by him. He put that on private, which he needs to undo that, but yeah, so I just called him up, and I mean he got me back the feature in no time. Like, that's what's up. Amazing. Like I brought him to Kyle's house, and on the way there I look back and I was like, by this time, I mean, we were cool, but we weren't super cool.
Yeah, yeah.
And I just looked at him and I was like, are you planning on screaming on this one? He was like, yeah, I mean, I might. And then we get in there and he was screaming the entire time. I was just like, God, would have expected it.
Yeah. And I saw it got on like a huge page too. Like that was insane. That dude doing like a dance with it on the huge.
Yeah. Shout out Walter Bowser. Walter Bowser on Instagram. He's a kid from Kentucky. He's a kid from Ohio. I don't know if he's like in Cincinnati, but he's always around that area.
Yeah.
And he's still in high school, I believe. He's just a beast. He's really good at dancing. Like, I followed him for a while, and sorry, I was taking a drink. I followed him for a while, and one day I saw him do a post in a Soul Serum hoodie.
Yeah.
And I'm cool with the Soul Serum guys, so I was like, no way, he knows them. And then come to find out, they like all started getting tied in with each other and hanging out. And I don't know, one day he just like was posting about promos, basically just like send your songs through if I like them, I'll dance to them. And so I sent him SRT, and he was like, yeah, man, like he was liking it a lot. So
that's what's up.
And he killed it.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, he's got a lot of charisma. I like it. He's unique.
That's what's up. Sounds like a good dude. So. Yeah. Zach, where do you see or want your music career to be? Like, where do you see it going, or where do you want it to
go? Like, obviously, I really don't get too caught up in like accolades. And I what I'm about to say might sound like, I don't know, hypocritical or something. I'm really not too tore up about money necessarily as I am like wanting to be able to like live in a comfortable fashion. Like, it's not like I want a big luxurious crazy life, but like I would really just love to have the ability to like get a good enough buzz to where I can make enough money to at least not be known, but not be known so much as, obviously I'm trying to be one of the best, but that's more or less for my ego, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when I like really dream about where I would be at the end of my quote career, it's like, dude, if I had enough money to retire and pay all of my buddies and their families to not work unless they want to ever again, and just go out in like Montana or something and buy a big ass ranch and just like build live off the land, yeah, but I'm saying like more or less like build an area, just like a big ranch, I guess you could call it, but it would be to make music, like, you know what I mean? I would want just like that to be the place to cook up at, like to just go for like a week and just be banging music out all week, like that's like always just been a dream to me, like to have a house where it's just like music, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, that's dope.
I think that would be so dope. And I think it'd be cool because, like, if I could get something like that going eventually, it wouldn't even matter so much as, like, my own personal career. If I could get a good enough, like, rep with a place like that, people would want to come in and out of there and stuff, you know what I mean? It wouldn't even matter, like, I just want a hand in music, like, honestly,
Yeah, I get you, man.
I don't care so much about, like, being the biggest, baddest, regardless of how, I'd like to carry myself in my music or whatever, but I just want to, at least be able to, like, live off of it. That'd be really sweet.
It would. Yeah, I mean, I think that's for a lot of people too. I think just being able to live off of what you love is just so much freedom in it, Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it would definitely be a blessing.
So, who is your favorite person to work with, if any? There's like a person that you just make music with or work with that you just enjoy that person a lot when you do.
That puts me on the spot. It's hard for me, to pick one thing for all this stuff, but like I have this buddy, his name is Tristan. Like, obviously, don't get me wrong, my buddy Tristan, he hasn't been making a whole lot of music lately. He's been kind of taking a break, taking it easy. Right now, obviously, like my boys Kyle and Chucky and all them, like I'm trying to make music with them, Felix, like all the boys, especially like I've been making a lot of new connections too, like people that I've been knowing, but people that I've become more familiar with. And I've been having fun with it all. But in particular, I have this buddy, his name's Tristan Chi. Shout out Tristan Chi. He's like the whole reason that I even like continued to get serious with this stuff. And it's not even like I was so serious as much as I was like serious about waking up and making music. Like I didn't really give a shit where it went. I just wanted to wake up and make stuff. And He definitely put that spark in me, like more so than anything. Like he just helped me, like being around him and stuff. Making music with him made me want to continue to make music. Like it was so much more organic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, kind of like I wouldn't say role model, but somebody you can look up to. Like he's like, oh, he's doing this, he's going crazy. I wanna.
Right. Yeah. No, he was, like, I don't know. It was very low stress for him. He didn't care about like drop dates. He didn't care about visuals. Like, he literally just loved to make music. That's all it was.
Yeah.
And it's like, I needed more of that. You know what I mean? Because I get so caught up and worried about when I'm supposed to drop this and that, and it becomes less fun because of that. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, definitely. So we're coming to almost the end of the interview. This is what I ask every single person on the interview, because I mean we are gaming. So how did you get into gaming? Tell us a little story about your gaming experiences.
Okay. I really like these questions, by the way. Seriously.
Thank you.
Good ass questions. So like I grew up playing like big time Nintendo kid, Game Boy kid.
Mm-hmm.
Never really had any consoles. And then like I lied. I had a PS2 but I played the PS2 for a long time. Like I didn't get my Xbox until like all my friends had one, like my Xbox 360.
Yeah.
And when I had a PS2, like I wasn't aware that you could like get online and talk to people and play with people. So whenever I got an Xbox 360 and played Call of Duty World at War?
Yeah.
It was World at War. I was actually on my buddy's Xbox. I fell in love with it, and that's like all I asked for like the whole until Christmas, and I got it. And by that time, Modern Warfare 2 was out. That's why Modern Warfare 2 is my favorite multiplayer game, just because it was my first.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know, man. I just got head over heels over it. I mean, whenever I was playing PS2 and stuff, I was playing the classics like, Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, Mortal Kombat, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, Spyro is amazing. I love that game.
Yeah, for sure. Big Spyro stan. Spyro Ripto's Rage might be my favorite of all time.
I think I like the one with Cinder, the 2-player one, the co-op one.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, Sly Cooper was dope too. I don't know if you played that, or Jack and Daxter, or Ratchet and Clank. Like I was big PS2 kid actually. And then once multiplayer came around, I was all about that. I haven't really played COD too much, and this one that just came out is like my favorite one in a long time. Like I haven't liked many of the ones before. Right, yeah. Like I haven't really enjoyed I liked Black Ops 3, I guess.
Yeah.
But I still hold every game to the standard of how I see Modern Warfare 2, which is like unsurpassable.
But that actually is an interesting question now that you brought that up. So you're on Xbox now. Explain the transition. What made you go from PlayStation to Xbox? What was that?
Okay, so my bad. So my homies at the time, like I was playing PS2, which I felt like at that time PlayStation had far superior like exclusive games. Like all Xbox had was like Halo 1 and Gears 1, I guess.
Yeah.
And like I don't. So that's why I was playing the PS2 at the time. But when I got to like middle school and stuff, and all my homies had Xboxes, like that's just really all I was concerned about. Was like being able to play with my friends. And then when like PS4 and the Xbox One came out, I had a PS4 originally, just because I figured it would. I don't know, I'd enjoy it more, but I ended up coming back over to Xbox because, like I said, all my friends were on it, so.
Yeah, that's a big part for me, too. I feel like that's the reason why gaming's more fun when you just have the right people to play with,
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Dude, I don't really even, I don't like playing by myself, honestly. I'd much rather play with some buddies.
Exactly. Do you think you're good at gaming?
Yes and no. I'm not good at sports games. Anybody can beat my ass at a sports game, I promise, except FIFA. I'm pretty good at FIFA. I'm not elite, but I'm pretty good.
Yeah.
Any game that involves driving vehicles, I'm trash at. But other than that, I'm pretty tough. You see me on a first-person shooter, come see me. That's all I gotta say.
Alright, I like it. And do you have any words for the people watching? Anybody want to shout out?
Shit. Shout out you. Shout out everybody who supports me. Shout out everybody who's giving me opportunities and platforms right now. I'm looking forward to streaming with you more in the future. I got a video called Ironclad coming out like any week now. Just waiting on it to get it back. It's supposed to be it's supposed to be a beast. So make sure y'all catch that. And like I said, I appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you, brother. This is going to conclude the Artist of the Month today. Thank you, Sack, for hopping on the show today. We're going to go finish up these games. And as always, guys, just remember to kill noobs, don't rage, and maintain the swag in the back. Deuces.
Yep, Jared.